guys, and welcome back to another live stream. Obviously, the market is starting to look a little bit more interesting right now, so we're going to identify some key buy zones. I'm going to talk about coins I've been buying over the last couple of days. So smash that like button. Let's get on with today's video. Now, guys, as well, later on, we've got a little competition going on at the moment, giving away various cash prizes, various memberships to groups, giving away hardware wallets like this Tangent wallet here, and lots of other things. So stick around later on. I'll tell you how you can enter into that for absolutely free. Now, without further ado, let's get into, not that, obviously. Let's get into this and see what's been going on in the markets today. Now, we've obviously woken up this morning and seen Bitcoin pumping pretty nicely, okay? And right this second, it seems to be coming back down again as per usual. But this is something to pay attention to. This particular indicator on the weekly is called the bull market support band. You can see that just yesterday we've come into contact with this yet again. And you can see every time on the weekly pretty much with this one little sort of fake out area that happened here. You can see that this bull market support band has been pretty consistent in holding the move towards the upside. Okay. Now, a few things to talk about right now is what's going on in Bitcoin, what's going on in the Bitcoin dominance, and what's going on with regards to the altcoin market outside of Bitcoin. And I also want to address the kind of like the mentality, what's going on with meme coins and all these other things, because it can be a little bit confusing. I understand that. But right now, I think we are in probably one of the most exciting periods of time, or most opportunistic periods of time than we're going to maybe see over the next year, maybe more, okay? So, while everyone else out there is not really paying attention, you know, the boring people who've been kind of, like me, just digging in and looking into crypto when we don't really want to be because the charts are down and it hurts us, will win so much bigger than all those who've just been completely ignoring it, okay? Doing it the Alex Becker way, which, you know, fair enough, I'm kind of jealous. Just, you know, fair weather YouTubing. Maybe I'll get back into that at some point. Right. So Bitcoin, what we've seen in the recent period of time is we have kind of bounced off of this particular support area here. And you can see that we are kind of struggling. You can see we kind of broke back through it, pushed back above it, and now, you know, it looks like we're testing on the underside. There is a chance, of course, that this kind of like happens for Bitcoin, although, you know, it's anyone's kind of guess right now. And I know people don't like that, but we can easily make decisions in the time of the market like this, where we can make the right decisions for pretty much any situation. And when we've seen this market kind of doing this, this has also been going out, okay? This is something really key to pay attention to, and it's the Bitcoin dominance chart. I've talked about this a lot on the channel, right? When the Bitcoin dominance is dipping aggressively, like this, and potentially, then these have always been massive altcoin seasons, okay? This was a huge altcoin season. This as well, pretty significant altcoin season, okay? And obviously before other altcoins. Basically because early in the market, we get Bitcoin pumping, and then the altcoins tend to run kind of hot around the back end of the initial pump in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is up above. Voice is low. Bitcoin is, can you hear me better? Let's get the microphone in here. Can you hear me better now? Everyone hear me all right? Okay. So, I'm getting closer. Okay, maybe that makes it better. Now, if Bitcoin is continuing to look a little bit weak versus altcoins, then we've got some very good opportunities on our hands because Bitcoin holds a lot of value in the market. And once that money bleeds out of Bitcoin into the altcoins, that's when we see a very exciting period of time, because altcoins with much smaller market caps will push much more aggressively against Bitcoin. So the dominance looks to be running into this area of resistance, okay? You can see that over a period of time, it started to curl off, start to lose its strength. If we get into a closer piece on the chart here, you can see that it's getting rejected in this area between 57 and 55%. Many would be betting on this perhaps starting to fall through, okay? If this falls through, at some point it's going to break this trend, then we're in for something very, very big and very exciting. And I think it nearly, started to look like it might be happening today. You can see again, USDT dominance, very key, starting to put in a lower high here. If USDT bounces down here, this could be a very, very exciting time in the market. But we don't even need to speculate too hard on this right now, okay? We're only speculating on this right now for egos. If you're still in the markets, right? If you're still holding crypto coins, let me tell you, what coins are you holding right now, guys? Let me know in the comments. Eat the microphone. Eat the microphone. No. Did I move to Portugal? Yes. Okay, so right now, the best thing about what's happening in the markets is everything, and you probably don't think this is the best thing, but everything is really, really low down. And something I've been showing you for the last kind of few... Did I post it on Twitter? I think it's on my Twitter. Something I've been showing on Twitter that's really, really key is this. If we come down to this, okay? This is the current crypto cycle. And it runs like this every time, all right? We run through a depression phase. We go into a hope and excitement phase. This hope and excitement phase drives the market in the early days of the altcoin season. Well, altcoin season. We thought it was an altcoin season sort of before Christmas time, right? We saw Solana ecosystem blowing up. Solana went from $8 last year to to nearly $200. We've seen Avalanche going crazy. We saw like the first meme coins like Pepe and stuff. Well, not the first meme coins, but a lot of meme coins coming really strongly. Pepe, a bunch of others that have come recently like Turbo, Dog to the Moon, Brett, and a bunch of others. A lot of altcoins then got shaken out. And this is because of something that's happening. This is basically created by venture capital funds. They're pumping funds into the market to spike interest and excitement. They cause retail to flood in, get excited. But those prices get overinflated. There's not enough liquidity in the market yet. It tends to fall back down. VCs will take their profits. They'll wait. Eventually, it gets towards the bottom of the shakeout. That money will then start to be pumped back into the market, and then we get to push higher in a bull market. So at the end of the shakeout, which I anticipate we're pretty close to right now, considering how bloody a day Monday was, okay? Many altcoins got absolutely hammered. That we are on the verge of something very big. And the best part, if you're still in those altcoins, the downside, continual downside is limited. Let's look, this is AGI, Delesium. What's Delesium? Let's have a look. Delesium, blockchain for AI and AI for humanity. AI agents effectively being utilized initially it was being utilized within kind of gaming, but they've now started to change their AI agents to basically be support helpers within cryptocurrency, making trading, buying and selling cryptocurrency significantly easier. Now, why Delesium? Well, Delesium is an AI coin, okay? And if we go back to this particular pattern, we know that in the hope phase, some of the most exciting coins that see the biggest potential get pumped up aggressively by the VCs during this period of time within the right narratives. There was an AI narrative that ran very hot. If we go to Google Trends, we can see AI crypto was absolutely rocketing until what dates? March the 3rd to the 9th, March the 10th to the 11th, AI March the 4th to the 11th. Okay, here we are, about here. Everyone's searching for AI coins. That inevitably will die off in the same way that everyone's been searching for meme coins recently. That will inevitably, and I know people get sad about this, but it will eventually shift away. People will come back to that later on, but right now, it's starting to lose interest. Interest and money flows from areas of high interest to areas of low interest, and then the cycle begins. So if we know that this chart has a good shakeout, and we look at this AGI has a very strong push and a very good shakeout, then this gives us a good opportunity for entry. It's pulled back 78%. It's currently down from these highs, all-time highs, 68%. And you can see that recent lows got put in down here. Now, this is one of hundreds of coins. I'm just going to use it as an example. Will this do well in the market? I would anticipate it's going to do pretty well, okay? AI agents. In fact, how do I know it's going to do well? Look, it did well before. It did well in the hope phase. Okay, AI agents is such a key narrative. Can't push it enough. And something like 98% of CEOs around the world are looking into using AI. They're looking into using AI agents. It's going to replace a lot of people in various jobs around the world, which, you know, good or a bad thing. You know, I'll sit on the side of that, but I like the look of this chart. So let's get in and have a look at what a buy zone really looks like and what we might say about it. Now, I used the analogy before, okay? Certain products in a supermarket, you know, a certain type of apple, big fan of Pink Lady apples, right? Pink Lady apples, a bit more of a premium apple, a bit more expensive. Maybe when they're like £3 for 6, maybe it's a little bit steep. I don't want to pay £3 for 6. So the next time I go in, they're on special offer, they're £2 for 6. I want to buy them. And everyone wants to buy them. Eventually the price gets forced back up again. Supply gets run out. Same thing, supply and demand, okay? AGI, according to here, or the Pink Ladies, were good value for AGI somewhere around this, 21 cents. How do I know that? Well, look, the first time we dumped into here, it rocketed out in one single day, 67%. It falls back in here, and within a further, 4 days, it does 254%. It's come back in, it bounces again. It's now just fallen below that, and now it's starting to pick back up again. Okay, another 47% in a couple of days. What does it tell us? It tells us that as soon as the altcoins get moving, or there's any sign and any hope that altcoins are going to get moving, that this particular coin is one of the places where we might see a pump coming first. Okay? Straightforward. Does that make sense? And I will talk about lots of other coins, including the ones that are on the thumbnail, because I know people think that I just use thumbnails for different coins to get you to watch videos. You're not wrong. But you're here, right? So we will look at what coins are on there. ICP, of course. We'll look at Casper. We'll look at JASMI. Agix, was that the other one? Let me know. Let's have a couple of questions. To stop me just talking to myself all day long. Like, please, channel deserves to be promoted. Thank you, Andy. Very kind. We will look at BVM later on, absolutely. Actually listened to a BVM call on Twitter this morning, Twitter space, X, whatever you want to call it. Aether, we'll have a look. Are you in GFI? Is that a coin or a place? Too much praying. Buy Casper and Rio. BVM to the moon. Okay, lots of kind of, you know, positivity. Prime as well, very good. Right. Let's get back in the charts. Since no one's asking questions, that's fine. Maybe everyone's just had enough of questions. That, you know, we just want hope, a bit of hopium. Now, let's have a look at those coins I just said that I was going to look at. I get, you know, dragged aside. So ICP, a bit of a messy chart. This, okay. Now ICP. It's important to think about this right now with coins. A lot of people in crypto like say, oh, this is, you know, far more useful than that, and this is far more. And then inevitably, when the markets pull back, everything gets decimated towards the downside. So you need to remember this message when it comes to the bear market for every coin, no matter how good and how exciting and how promising it looks right now, that all of these coins in crypto heavily overinflated in valuation. Yeah? They're all propped up by a lot of like smoke and mirrors, and some of them have better smoke and mirrors than others, but they will all come down significantly after the bull market. So don't get stuck in these coins too long, and let this be a lesson to you. No matter how good you thought ICP was when it was sat around $20, it's still back down at 8.3, and in fact, it's probably made more progress as a project since then than it has now, and yet it's worth much less money now than it was back then. Okay, but good thing to see here. ICP, you can see drop back to this buy zone here, somewhere between 8.5, and $9. And yes, I did have a little bit of a DCA in, nothing significant, but I did buy a little bit in. Okay, now, as you come down below, you can see that I've drawn another green box randomly in here. Let's turn off this bull market thing. Now, why have I drawn this green box? Now, when you drop through these buy zones, hopefully these buy zones are starting to make sense. Okay, it's basically a point of time where the price bounces from that zone every time. Now, you see I've drawn one down there, and it doesn't look like I should have done. But if we go to a smaller time frame, which we have to do because down here there's no other time frame until down all the way about $5. I don't think ICP is going to make it to $5, although I could be wrong. So we go to a 4-hour chart, and what we're looking for is a bit of sideways consolidation, like this, or simply like this before we have another significant run. Why is that? Because this indicates a time that kind of, price started to slow down and then new big buyers entered the market here. These buyers may have wanted to get in down here, but they couldn't. They didn't think they were going to get another chance. They were still happy then to buy in at this price. So we can draw our green box across there and then see if the price ever returns into this area. And you can see the ICP is yet to return to this zone. Therefore, if we were getting in down at this zone here, motorbike, then we would have been pretty happy. But you can see if it gets dropped even further into this area, this is an even better buying opportunity. And if you are sat in coins right now that you've bought back here, and you're like, I'm down, I'm so down in this, and it's stinging you really badly. I get it, okay? But ultimately, time and time again, I, myself, and pretty much everyone I know, have been telling people to keep some money on the side. Why is that? If you paid $21 for ICP and you put in $100 and it's come down to here, you're now $60 out. So you've only got $40 left. You still got $40 in ICP. If you put in another $100 here, you've now got $140 in ICP. Remember, break even is at $200. Okay, so it's only going to go up. I don't know the maths. Okay, 20 or 30%, I believe, to be back at break even. If $140 goes up 10%, that's $14.30. No, it needs to go up more than that. It needs to go up 60%. But if it goes up 60%, is that right? If I had a calculator, I'd work this out properly. Somewhere around here. So that means if you did what I just said, you put in $100 here and $100 down here, then you only need to get to $13.40 to be back at break even. Okay, so you don't need to cry about the fact it's got to come and do another like 5x to get back up here. I know it's not 5x, it's like under 3x. Cue all the kind of like comments in the, oh, this guy can't do simple maths. I can't believe I'm following him. Unfollow. Don't do that, obviously. Please subscribe. See what I mean, right? So all the thing to do is draw these buy zones and then you can dip into them. Do your own research though. If you don't like it, don't buy it. Okay? Because if it comes down further, that's on you because you bought the coin. Okay? So don't buy coins if you don't think they can go lower, because now you learn that the coins can go lower. Okay? Hopefully that's a good lesson for most of us to learn, because we've all had to learn that once and we all need to learn that, because otherwise if we don't learn that, then there's no way of making money, right? The only people probably who will make money in this crypto bull market have probably already been through and done this before. We learn our lesson. Okay, the people who are arriving today, damn lucky time to arrive today perhaps. But if they are, looking to hold for a longer time and they never get stung, then there's a good chance they will get stung at some point. And actually I would rather get stung down here than stung all the way at the top, because we learn our lesson. ICP, yeah, looks good around these sort of prices. Ideal if it gets down to $7.50, but anywhere near $8, pretty good value. Casper. Casper's a bit of a weird one, right? Because it's any particular, making like a, I don't know, like an egg pattern. It's not really doing anything particularly easy to look at here, okay? But I would say that this is pretty decent structure, showing that it's showing very good strength against other coins, which is kind of surprising. Because, not many coins are showing this kind of strength that Casper's showing right now. But it's quite clear that Casper is running into significant resistance around this price. But now it's retesting these highs, okay? Most people, I imagine, who want to know more about Casper right now are already in it. If I was already in it, I would be holding it. I wouldn't be selling it. Wouldn't be necessarily buying it from this price. If it does take another dip down to this level, then this is a great area for Casper. Okay, somewhere around 9.8 cents. But that's a big It's a good 30% pullback. You're going to need Bitcoin to have a big pullback, and Casper will fall 30%. If Casper falls 30% with Bitcoin pulling back, a lot of other coins will go very much lower. Okay, so there's probably better opportunities. Casper's clearly a very strong project, will do well, or has been doing well. And it doesn't seem to matter, right, in the market that Casper isn't really onboarding new users. Okay, might have like a great technology and all these other things, same as ICP and all this, but they're not onboarding users. Doesn't seem to matter so much. Remember? Okay, because all of it's like hype and excitement. Okay. Let's have a look. Which other coins are we desperate to see? Desperate to see. Here we go. Stopped smoking years ago. How do I come back into the comments and then I see... Bro, talk about io.net. I actually might do. Why are people talking about smoking? Oh, what? Okay, I get it. If you go from the bottom to the top, it's difficult. io.net is a worse version of Render. Fake news. I'll tell you why in a minute. io.net is a lot better than Render, but people like Render. Thank you for sharing, trying to teach us. Ajax Ocean Fetch. Emerging on July the 1st. It will become the largest AI crypto project. Possibly. io.net is getting a lot of hype. Guys, do you think AI Aether or io.net is better? ICP we just did. What do you think about DToro? DToro is still strong. Guys, newer coins getting, pummeled. I'm still bullish on DToro. Still tiny market cap. Any more for any more? Is it just the same guy talking about io.net on everything? Okay. Right. Next one up. Let me just get rid of this because it's confusing everyone. Cool. Now remember, I'm very keen to discuss these trends. Why? Because these trends during the hope phase went crazy. This is AI crypto, and this was, remember, around March. This phase indicates that there's certain areas of crypto that are going to go very hard. What else can we look at? Real world asset crypto. Again, 24th of March, slightly after that AI peak. What else? BRC20 crypto. Not so keen. Did have a bit of a push around December time. I know ordinals and stuff picking up. Bitcoin layer 2 stuff was the talk of the town recently. What else? GameFi. GameFi, interestingly, is starting to have a little bit of a peak now. And that's very interesting because I don't think it has been. So maybe that can take into consideration. Right. Another coin, Ajax, Singularity Net. Again, part of this merger. But look, everything, guys, you just draw these buy zones. Why do we have a buy zone in here on the daily? Let's remember, go back to the 4 hours. So if you can't find the buy zone, it's probably you just need to look at a slightly smaller time frame. Look, choppy. Okay. You can see suddenly out of this, we get big push. We get pushed back in and then again, big push. This green area looks like an area we want to be buying from. If we get a chance, we'll look what happens. We get all the way down to the bottom of it and then we bounce out. Okay. Easy, right? Easy. You don't even need to look at your charts most of the time. Put it in here. You then go to the comments on Twitter and YouTube and you see how bullish does everyone seem? How bearish does everyone seem? If everyone's super bearish, it's probably a good time to buy. If everyone's super bullish, sell like the plague. Okay, run away. Sell like the plague. My opinion, of course. Not financial advice and all that. Ajax, Singularity Net. Guys, AI. These projects, look at them. How do I know it's going to do well? Well, because it's already did really well. I told on a couple of videos recently, just if you are unsure, if you're new to crypto, today, you've absolutely nailed your entry time. Because most people won't come in at this dip. You've timed it so perfectly. Go to Coinmarketcap. Let me just check you can actually see this on the video. Hold on. Okay. On the right-hand side, we've got this customize, filters, customize. Go down, click price change, and click on 90 days. There's a reason for that. Today is the 20th of June. This was the 14th of March. About 3 months ago, it's about 100 days, but let's just say near enough 90 days. You can see the Bitcoin hit this high and then it started to trail down. Hit this high, it's going sideways, and altcoins have bled towards the downside, which means in the last 90 days or so, altcoins have been bleeding badly towards the downside. Simply go to Coinmarketcap.com, go to page 1, okay, page 1, top 100 crypto coins. Make sure you say customize and you go 90 days. Now what we're going to do is, you see in the last 90 days, some of these coins have outperformed the rest of the market. So which coins do you not want to buy? Coins that have outperformed the market, because everything will always return to an equilibrium. Whether something's too expensive, it will tend to go cheaper. And if something's too cheap, it will become more expensive. Yeah. This isn't about buying strength or selling strength, okay? These are some coins at the top that are have been very, very popular in the last month. However, if we click on the flip side of things, these are coins, Pith Network, okay? Alex Becker, pretty sure Alex Becker's in Pith Network. A lot of people were hyping this up. I'm pretty sure Virtual Bacon was hyping this up. So what do? Well, it's at the very top of the list. I don't know much about it. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm not telling you to do whatever. Okay, I'm just saying it's on Binance for one. Remember 11th of March, 18th of March. Look, it comes all the way down from here. Does it find itself now somewhere after a good bounce? It pulled back 72%. Back to those highs, 260% gains. No brainer, okay? It hiked up here. Sorry, church bells close by. It hiked up here, right? And it did it for a reason, because everyone was hyped and excited about it. It's a good quality project, but now it's massively undervalued because it's had a very strong pullback. Easy. What would I look at next? Go to Coinmarketcap. I don't know too much about StarkNet. Maybe it's decent. WorldCoin, massive market caps, not that fast. People like Aptos, fine. Celestia, saw a lot of people talking about this. Stacks, decent project, really decent. Taubetenza. All of these projects that everyone was hyping, okay, everyone was pumping earlier on this year. A cash network. Everyone's not talking about them now because they've been bleeding. Let's go to a cash. A cash sat here, buy zone. Look at it. I've already got it on. You can see it. We drew these guys on like last live stream. I haven't been just going around drawing buy zones, okay? They sit here, they're ready. We talked about where the buy zones might be, and look what happens. We haven't even planned this. It's come back, it bounces. You could have had a limit order set up. Last night, you could have been in. You could have woken up this morning, been 20% up in a new position in a cash. Whew. Too easy, right? Render. What's going on down here? Now, let's talk about the render. Let's talk about IO.net. Talk about Aether. Why render? This is confirmation bias, guys. This is what I was talking about earlier in there. Render network. Distributed GP rendering on the blockchain. This is Deepin. Okay, Deepin again. If we go back to trends, something that's very key to pay attention to. Deepin. 10th of March, everyone was talking about Deepin. 10th of March, everyone was talking about Deepin. Somewhere around here, 10th of March. Dies off. Everyone stops talking about it. Decentralized physical infrastructure networks. There's a variety of different ones, but the main key ones that people are keen on are things that do AI compute and digital compute. So for example, if I want to, create a new program and I need loads of compute power, I can borrow compute power from another network, decentralized way, in order to complete my project. Render does this for rendering, okay, video games, movies, etc., which has some demand for, okay, which is why Render might do quite well. However, there is a massive, crazy demand for AI compute, which requires a certain type of hardware which Render does not have. is the H100 NVIDIA chip, which is an H100 NVIDIA chip, which I believe are very expensive. Okay, these things. These chips are specifically made by NVIDIA only. They are the chips that you need to make large language models like ChatGPT, like Claude.ai, like whatever. Okay. Now, if you don't have access to these types of chips, then the demand is not really that big for your services. Therefore, Render does seem quite cool, but I don't see how it can compete with the likes of Aether. And this is powerful GPU compute solutions on demand. And you'll see you can go down through, you can find out that the keywords they've got, they talk about AI and how they can do AI rendering. Not AI rendering, sorry, how they can provide AI compute space. They're also working in a bunch, they've also onboarded a bunch of new clients already. They also have a turnover significantly bigger in terms of revenues than other companies out there. Accelerated growth and get closer. Okay, so basically how this works. Let's say I want to use enterprise grade GPUs, which are these H100s, you can see with over $400 million worth of compute capacity. Very important. Let's say I am living in the UK. I'm not. But I want to access, I want to build my large language model. I can go through one individual provider like Amazon Web Services, which is extremely expensive and also doesn't really necessarily have the supply I want, which means I can only go online at certain times of day to build my platform. It's going to take a lot longer. It's going to be way more expensive. Aether will connect different services around the world and provide them to you. So for example, if you're in the UK and it's nighttime in Australia, then you can use the compute power from Australia, which is at a lower cost because it's in the nighttime when the demand is less, rather than using it in your own country, which means there's always an available supply because you're taking from different locations. It's so much cheaper. It's like $1 or $2 in comparison to $19 or $20 for the same part. Okay. And that's for like, gigabyte or whatever. I don't know the exact stats. This is roughly how it works. Okay. IO.net's actually got more information on the website. I'll come to that in a minute. And that's why Aether's been growing so massively. I'll tell you in a minute as well, a company that is just about to partner with Aether, which hasn't been announced publicly, but I've got a bit of an inside scoop. So stay tuned for that. So as you can see, Aether basically has the biggest enterprise-grade GPU capacity that no one else has. That's what sets it above. Okay, the demand for this. If we go to IO.net, I'm pretty confident they have on their website where they talk about the demand for this. IO.net does similar stuff. They launched around similar time. Aether slightly more expensive, slightly bigger market cap. Okay. You can see some of the savings that made over a period of time by using certain things rather than another. They use here the comparison between IO.net and Azure. Is it in the docs? There's a chart somewhere. It basically says it's got to be on IO.net. Every 18 months, the demand for GPU compute power goes up. 18x. No, it goes up 10x every 18 months. But the supply available from traditional GPU providers is only going up 2x, which means the demand is outstripping the supply, and it's a no-brainer. Okay. So there we go. I did just promise you that there was a company that was about to partner with Aether, which I do believe has just partnered with IO.net and had a very strong result because of that. Now, before we do that, and I tell you which coin that is, I want you to do me a favor. Down below in the description, there is a post for my Twitter account. A lot of the stuff I'm talking about on YouTube, like this, I talk about on Twitter days, if not weeks before. I'm bringing you up to date with what's happening in the charts, different coins I've been buying, talking about some meme coins, talking about, how Andrew Tate's basically a scammer and basically screwing everyone out with this Daddy program, Daddy coin. Go and have a look. That's a really interesting read. And you can see kind of a lot of other things going on. So make sure you go down below and give me a follow. Not only that, I promised you a competition. We're giving away up to $5,000 worth of crypto and giveaway goodies and things like that. And you simply just need to do a few things. If you come down and you hit this particular post, then it's going to bring you across to a rather snazzy website, which is the House of Crypto. And you can follow through and you just have to do a few different bits and pieces. Simple things like check the website, give me a follow on Twitter, retweet, and you get a bunch of different entries. The more of these you do, the more entries you get, and the more likely you are to win some of that $5,000 cash lump sum. And while you're at it, just as a thank you, not that you need to say thank you because I'm doing this anyway, but I would really appreciate it if you just hit the retweet, you hit a like, and you just followed me, guys. It would help me out more than you know, okay? I would really appreciate that. Thank you very much to those of you who are doing that. Very kind. Okay, what did I come over to Twitter for? Recent partnerships. Drum roll, please. opsec.cloud. Okay, now this project is a very interesting one, mainly because of the recent partnerships it's had and the result it's just had on the charts and what I think is going to happen when it makes its next partnership. Okay, this is called OPSEC Cloud. Not particularly big following, based in Hong Kong. AI-powered decentralized cloud security, which is so important when we think about what's going on with what Aether are doing and what IO.net are doing. Okay, and since they're basically providing the security and hardware for setting up nodes. Every crypto Deepin project now is launching a node sale. Have you noticed? Aether, Carve, Delesium had one, right? Where did I see it? I saw more node sales happening. Myria. It's not even that deep, it's gaming. Everyone's starting to launch nodes. OPSEC is the project providing security for these nodes. Online security, decentralized security. So what's a big deal about that? Well, if you come down, you will see that they recently, 20 hours ago, partnered with none other than IO.net. And I know on the inside scoop that they are about to partner with Aether. Okay, no one knows this. Of course, a bit of an inside story from the team themselves. Now you can come down below, you can see DeepLink Global in AI enhanced cloud gaming Web3 infrastructure. DeepLink, big project. We actually invested in DeepLink in the Discord. If you want to get in access to pre-sales before the rest of the market gets access, so that you can buy into coins at massive discounts and be able to sell on the day they launch for sometimes up to 60x. I think Portal was the best performer that we had. It launched around a 50x, and you had a 10% TGE, which meant you could sell. If you put in $1,000 on day one, you can sell 10% of your tokens, which means you still make $5,000, 5x, and then you got 90% to run the rest of the bull market. If you want to get into those pre-sales, then go to the link down below called the Inner Circle Discord. Okay? Let me show you the Inner Circle Discord while we're at it. Okay, so we've got the various announcements and things going on. We have got a number of different channels. So basically like the chat channel, we also have the investments, some of the investments and the pre-sales we've been doing recently, the new deals and partnerships we've been going through all the time. We tend to have 2, maybe sometimes 3 deals a week if things get very exciting. As well, we have the trade zone where there's various different trade signals being put in. So for example, we've just talked about OPSEC. Okay, we'll look at the chart in just a moment, but we had OPSEC in here earlier on today. Okay, so if you want to be able to get in before these videos go live on live stream, be able to get in at the very best price, Discord is probably the place to be. We also now work closely together with Bitunix. Okay, Bitunix, who will list any coin we ask. Okay, so here we see this morning I just said, can we get Myria, please? Myria will be in Bitunix later on today. Okay, so if you want to go across and trade crypto, Bitunix, simply the place to be. No KYC, no VPN. Every time they put a new coin in, and if you want any new coins, go to the link down, go to the comments down below. Ask me for coins. I'll ask Bitunix to post them. If you sign up through the Bitunix link down below, you'll get bonuses, potential for getting airdrops in those coins as well. Yeah, so that's all the things that are going on in Discord. Now, I talked about this in the trade zone, talked about OPSEC, talked about what was going on. So let's get across and have a look at the charts for OPSEC. This one, CoinX. Now, OPSEC is not currently, it's currently available on Bingx. So there's a link for down below. Otherwise, Uniswap, I believe, if you are so interested in particular coins. If you're looking for certain coins, guys, and you don't know where to find them, just go to Coinmarketcap again. It's very handy. I'm not telling you to buy this by any means, okay? Or you can see it's up 33% today off the back of the io.net news. But we'll look at the chart and see why the fact it's up 33% shouldn't be a massive concern. These are the exchanges available. Uniswap probably would be the best place, I would say, right now because it's got the highest volume. Check the volumes, okay? Always important. Let's go back to the chart. OPSEC, you can see, has a chart that would scare a newbie crypto trader into, I don't know, running away. Little lacking on the puns today. A little lacking on the dry humor. Need some more sleep. Bear with me. Now, this chart shows that OPSEC launched when? Back in February this year, had a very strong move. And you can see that during the market, when the market was strong, up until kind of like, when things started to cool off, end of March into April, it just kind of dumped. Why? Because it's a new coin. New coins lose interest very quickly when everyone loses interest in crypto. It then starts to fall lower and lower and lower until people don't even know what it is anymore. No one even cares anymore. And then what you can see, and this is very important because we'll look at this on other charts that have been doing similar things recently. We'll look at them in just a moment. Bear with me. You will be able to notice that the price starts to go from a very steep curve into a more casual curve. And at the same time, it creates a pattern like this. And it bounces around in this area until eventually it breaks this particular zone. This gives us a very strong area of interest. Now, why it's probably maybe sometimes better to buy into a day where we get a peak like this is that there is a good chance the market is telling us that this coin has finished its downtrend. Okay, if you continue to just buy in when the candles are like this, sometimes it just continues, and eventually you don't know where the bottom is. It's really disheartening, and sometimes people just sell, even if they've done research and they understand it to be a good project. This here shows kind of like bullish intention for this coin. I'm pretty confident that, we get a release in news from Aether at some point, and then, Bob's your uncle. If it continues to break lower, then, there's the bottom. We might get something like that. But the price is significantly better than when most people tend to buy into crypto. Most people only hear about coins when they're up here. We buy in, we get wrecked, and it's always very sad. Okay? Obviously, do your own research. Go and understand what this project is. Why they're getting partnerships with some of the biggest projects in all of crypto. Go and look at like the unlocks. Go and look at the VCs. Go and look at the team. And if you still like it after all that, and you've looked at the chart and you've completely forgotten that I was the one who told you about it, then if you want, go and buy it. If you don't buy it. No one's telling you. No one's holding a gun to your head. Easy. Makes sense? 3 dislikes. Outrageous. Guys, we only got 176 likes on this video. What's going on? Hit the like button. 519, is that people watching live? I don't even know. New to live streams, guys, hit the like button. You haven't done it yet. Right. Let's get on with chats. Comments. Pepe Coin. Gringo, you don't know nothing. Gringo. Is that a racial slur? What do you think about INJ? INJ did have a very good run. INJ did run quite well, right? In the earlier or the end of the last bull market, end of the kind of like pre-Christmas bull market. Again, what happened? It ran really hot during the hope phase before it runs into the shakeout phase. Looking for buy zones. What do we reckon? It's so easy. It's so easy to make a video on coins right now because so many coins are undervalued. Where's the buy zone? Remember, we want to look for, and someone got angry earlier at me for using the term buy zone, saying that it made people buy. If you don't want to buy, don't buy. If you get triggered to buy something because someone calls it a buy zone, you need to have a serious word with yourself. Right. It's called a buy zone because people buy it in the buy zone. As you can see from this chart, we can see a very big push from this area where it gets bought up. From this area before, INJ, in a very short space of time, does 140% returns. So what we need to draw is a box around this up and down, okay? So simply all we're doing, right, is we're looking at the tops and the bottoms of this like sideways bit of time before we get a breakout, okay? These candles are very strong, show big buying, lots of big money buying in this area. This tells me that this is an area that's worth investing in once more if we get lucky enough to have the price return. We can drag it across. You can see, you can see it does dip in here. Now, most people might have missed this one because it was kind of, I probably would as well, okay? Because it's kind of higher up. Bounces 4 days. No, that's a lie. 6 days, 65% up. It crawls back in, the market goes quiet again. It starts to fall back in. You can see this wick. Wicks towards the downside like this is showing buyers stepping in. Now, it's not popular. People don't like this because people don't like it that I'm telling them right now as the markets dip and go lower and lower that there's times to buy things. In the same way that people got very, very sad with me in the last bull market when I made a video about Solana on like the 11th of November 2021 saying Solana was going to go lower. It was at like $250 and people were like raging at me. And that, what was it? It was somewhere around here. Somewhere in this period of time, I was like, yeah, I think we're going to break this support. I think it's going to go lower. I didn't know that it was going to be the top of the bull market. I didn't know that I'd called it quite that well, okay, because I didn't call most of the other ones that well. And everyone was like, you're an idiot. You don't know anything. It's usually a good indicator that I'm saying the right things. If everyone's agreeing with me right now, then I'm saying the wrong things. Okay? So if you find yourself on a call and you're really agreeing 100% in your heart with everyone on that call, then you're probably wrong. So glad people are getting, cheesed off and angry for me telling them this is when you want to buy the dip. Now, I've talked a lot about lots of different coins that I'm aware have seen dips. Okay, remember I just talked about OPSEC and what was going on OPSEC. Remember where I told you that what we want to look for is charts that have fallen sleepily, started to round off. Now this again, just because it's a new coin, you will then go across to any particular platform. You can go with BVM, you could go with OPSEC, you could go with any coin that's seen significant sell-off, and you will see everyone being like, this is a scam, you should get away from it, it doesn't do anything. I saw the same with Solana at $8. Everyone was like, Solana's a scam, get out of Solana. Okay, it's people just being like hurt or something because they lost money, or they just, they want something to fail because maybe they sold, maybe they got lucky and they sold up here, and then they just wanted it to fail and tell everyone that they I knew better because I told everyone it was a scam, but it's not a scam, okay? I sat and I listened to the Twitter space for BVM this morning. BVM is an incredible project, working on some really exciting things, but the price has been absolutely decimated. I'm sorry, because I told you originally about this coin on a video somewhere around here. Somewhere around here, we talked about this coin. And everyone was like, for a while, everyone was like, wow, you made the best call ever. BVM was a great call. And then those same people probably still held on and then just telling me it's a crap call, it's a scam. There's no win in this game. There is some wins, but there's no win. Okay? I'm never going to be right for everyone. Anyway, what we can start to see if we start to look into a bit more of a smaller time frame, something interesting on the BVM chart. A flat bottom. Everyone loves one of them, right? We can see a nice area where the price doesn't seem to get below. Now, on top, we've got kind of like, some form of a consolidation pattern happening. And if we continue to hold this base level here, lowest around 0.86, eventually it's going to return. Now, a lot of people are like, I'm down 80, 90% in some projects I'm holding. How? If you buy the absolute tops of things, then you have no one to blame but yourself. Because no one, it definitely wasn't me, I would never have been telling you to buy at the peaks, okay? Telling you to buy after the dips like this. Now, after we see these kind of pumps like this, and then we see these pushes towards the downside, even if you put in $100 here, let's just call it at $7 price, and it comes all the way down 87%. I understand that's painful. That's why we don't buy the tops. Then we would have $13 in our hand. If we put in $100 more here, we'd have $113. And remember, we're down 97%. So we've only got to go back up to around here to be at break even. Give or take a few percent. Am I right? You don't need to get back up here to break even. You need to get back up here to break even. The mystery of DCA unraveled, okay? I know lots of people will be like, well, I don't have any more money to invest in here. Everyone I watch tells you, keep a bit of dry powder on the side. Keep a bit of like money on the side. And if you don't have it, then what are you worrying about? If you don't have any more money to invest and you're not going to sell, what are you worrying about? Just go do something else. If you're not going to sell it, you haven't sold it so far, you're not going to sell the bottom, are you? If you haven't sold anything so far, why would you think about selling it now? If you're still positive on it, leave it for another day. Maybe it comes back. It's definitely going to come back, okay? Too easy. As far as I'm concerned, this is one of the most undervalued projects going. It's one that I'm very keen on. It's one that I hold myself, full disclosure. I hold a lot of these tokens. Why do I hold so much? Well, I didn't want to hold so much because I bought up here. No, that's a lie. We bought on the first video, there was a pullback, right? From this first one. We made a full video. I think I'll find it for you slightly later on. Saying that this was in a downtrend. It broke through here. I think I asked people, I said in one of my groups, that we might be breaking out of this trend around here. It then broke a little bit lower. I was like, okay, maybe this isn't going to go so well. We had a nice breakout. So my average price initially was somewhere around here, $2.8. It came back down, 2.25. I stayed in all the way up. Annoyingly, probably should have taken some profit at that point, but we didn't. Hey ho. So my price was 2.8. And I put in quite a big lot at 2.8. It comes back down now. You can see I'm down 70%. But I'm not down 70% at all. I literally have got to get back to like 1.5, 1.6, and then I'm at break even. And if I get to 1.5, 1.6, and I'm at break even, 1.5, let's say 1.6, and then it goes all the way back to all-time highs, which are really not that far away because it was only there a few months ago. 335% gain on my whole bag. Okay? That's how you make money in crypto. This is how you lose money. You irrationally buy the top of coins when everyone's hyped and excited about them. And then they go all the way down here, you sell it, and then you go with your $13 you got left to Coinmarketcap and you write like, these projects are scams. Right now, everyone's been like, oh, you should buy. The other day, everyone was like, oh, you should buy Turbo. Literally on a video I made about Turbo, everyone was like, oh, you should buy Turbo. It's up here. It's going to go to the moon. It's got at least another 5x in it. In such a short space of time, we come back down 65%. Hits a buy zone. Bob's your uncle. Back up 55% in just a couple of days. Should we have a look at Turbo from here? Turbo actually doesn't look bad from here. Who knows? Meme coins are a weird one. I think as we move back and the altcoins blow up again, I think that the bigger memes, Turbo, Brett's, Pepe's, they're kind of going to become more mainstream, going to do well. I do think that there's a lot of pain in some of the meme coin market right now. Lots of people on a daily basis I'm seeing getting rug pulled, being scammed. People have only got so much time for that. But some of these big memes, if you find them early enough, then you're absolutely going to kill it. But finding them at the moment seems to be somewhat of a needle in the haystack. Let's see. Especially as we move in and altcoins will start to pull some of that liquidity out of the meme coin market. I believe people are in memes right now because altcoins have been boring. They're going to get more interesting again. Right. Any questions? Any more for any more? There are too many tokens and too many projects. I believe you've been watching Crypto Banter. Fair enough. Crypto Banter did make a very good point earlier. That there are a lot of projects and there are a lot of tokens. You're right. So how do we differentiate them? Do this. Do you remember? Go to this picture. If you haven't already. Why isn't you have any more? Go to this picture. And remember, the ones that have this very strong hope phase are likely to do very well in the end. And these are coins that have been around probably in the last markets, okay? Newer market coins, coins that launched, this is something important as well. Coins that launched towards the end of this hope phase don't get to enjoy the hope phase. They will run into the shakeout phase. Let's have a look. Who runs into the shakeout phase? We just looked at one. BVM launches around 23rd of March, 21st of March, which according to Bitcoin was somewhere just 23rd, somewhere just after that initial pullback. 18th, 23rd of March. Okay, so basically all altcoins started to bleed from that point down. So new coins that launched around that period of time were just jumping on the train at the same time. If you jump on the train here, there's a good chance you have a very successful launch. If you jump on the train at the end of this hope season, you get demolished and people call you a scam, even though this is going to follow. Very good chance this follows. Who else? People tell me gaming, right? Gaming's got absolutely trashed as well. Not a project I had talked about it. Not a project I've been overly bullish on because again, they don't have that GPU compute for AI. So obviously now, what time is it? Clock's going off. 5 p.m. Finished? You done? Thank you. Okay, so gaming obviously has a very big push towards the downside. Because why? What's the date? What's the date at launch? 3rd of April. Let me just check. According to Bitcoin, according to crypto, was the 3rd of April in the hope phase or was it in the... Remember, this is the hope phase. So anything after the 14th of March, which I believe April comes after March, falls into the shakeout phase. Therefore, anything launching around the time or after this time gets pulled into a shakeout phase. People think that these charts are just shakeout phases. Okay, this unfortunately timed launches. Someone might launch a coin at a very opportune moment. Things are good. I swear that clock's just gone off. Why are we getting it again? If you are repairing clocks in Lisbon, have a word. But maybe that's just a message, right? I'll get on with it. Is it for real? So guys, I hope that's clear, right? New coins are bleeding. Lots of new coins bleed. And then, look, let me show you what happens. Some of them. Have a look at 2 more and I'll just leave you with a very strong kind of message about these. This is Sui. This is what happened to Sui after it launched. Pull back. Pull back from this launch price. 82%. Pull back from a launch price. Somewhere around the same 80 odd %. When did it launch? 16th of August. What was Bitcoin doing on the 16th of August? I have a feeling it's probably doing not a lot. Oh, who would have thought? So it's launched at a time that Bitcoin just turned and dumped towards the downside. As if we've just fixed that whole issue. Okay, so new coins that you think are strong with good teams, ignore that kind of like stuff floating around. Go and do the research because you have an opportunity to pick up some coins that probably should be worth $100 million plus, maybe towards $1 billion if everything goes well. If BVM's worth $1 billion at some point, it's 20 million right now. 50x. This is actually legitimate 50x potentials. Whereas when everyone's telling you 50x and 100x, most of those coins are already at the peak. YouTubers who are saying that, they're just trying to compete for your attention. Okay, so simple. Hopefully that's all very straightforward. Let's just take a couple of questions and we'll think about racking it up. JASMI. I did put JASMI on the thumbnail, so I promise we will look at JASMI. I'm not delving too much into, what do you think of this project? Because we haven't got time for it. But, I mean, JASMI. JASMI, everyone was calling, again, here's a good example. ICP, last year, everyone in 2023 was like, ICP is a scam. Solana's a scam. JASMI's a scam. Because the prices were low. Guys, there's a lot of silly people who get, spend too much time and, they lose a lot of money and they can't go out, so they have to sit by their computer all day long, crying and writing mean things on comments. Eventually, the coins turn around and they get bored and they go after other things. JASMI was called a scam by everyone last year. Start to pull out of this zone. Has performed quite strongly, but is actually having a very healthy pullback. Now, I think it was kind of interesting. JASMI outperformed the market during this period of time. Always be a bit cautious of coins that outperform the market when they probably shouldn't be really doing it at the time. Okay, because they probably will have a pullback. And it's interesting, while Bitcoin's been starting to rally, JASMI's starting to pull back a bit. Okay, where would we see a buy zone? Here for JASMI, somewhere around 25 cents. Another one down here, probably around 20 cents. I think it depends on what happens in the market. That would be a pullback probably of, at the moment we pull back 37%. From this peak down to there, we're looking for a 1.618, 618. They are 0.26. Nice top of the buy zone there, 0.618. 26.6 cents is a good potential entry for JASMI. In my personal opinion, I'm not a financial advisor, so go wait and do your own research. Guys, if you haven't already done it, then hit that like button. Hopefully, hopefully the charts start to move up from here. But if they don't, we get in at those buy zones. I don't think there's significantly more downside that you're going to see, although I might be wrong. Just keep buying those dips, DCAing in, and you'll feel much better about things in the long run. Now, guys, I will be back tomorrow with another video. Also, one thing before we finish up, we are going to have something coming up very soon, and that is this. Okay, this is my other channel, which is this in the description below, called The School of Crypto. Currently with a whopping 320 subscribers. But as of Monday, we're bringing on a team of full-time traders, okay? These guys, along with me, are going to start to run day trading tutorials. There's going to be 3 day trading live sessions per week in the School of Crypto. And all you've got to do is subscribe down below, and you can get those trading sessions absolutely free, which means that you can make money if the market's going down as well as up. I know everyone doesn't love day trading. That's why we're doing it on a separate channel. So if you want to do day trading, go to the School of Crypto down below, subscribe, and as of Monday, we're going to start to introduce various other trading videos, so you can start from beginner and start to learn to trade. You don't have to go and buy expensive trading courses. We'll literally hold your hand and walk you through it, various trading signals, etc. all the time. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's live stream. Smash that like button if you didn't already, and I will see you later. Have a great day. See you later. Bye-bye.